So first of all, Dunfermline at the weekend. What are you expecting from them?
We're expecting a difficult game as always. Our last fixture against them at East End was a very close encounter. We were delighted to come out on top on the night, but it wasn't easy. We had to work hard for the result. I think Dunfermline are on a little bit of a difficult run themselves at the moment. I think they've only got 3 wins in their last 14 or something like that, and I'm pretty sure James McPake will be wanting that to change pretty quickly, and that'll be their mindset, no doubt, coming into the game. So we'll have to be at our best on the day, but we're really looking forward to the game.
And obviously you're unbeaten against Dunfermline this season. Is that motivation going into the weekend?
Well, of course. I mean, we've only lost 2 games in the 20 league fixtures that we've played up to now, and we want to try and continue that good form that we're on. We've enjoyed the recent break that we've had there. It's a couple of weeks now since we've played a fixture, albeit of course we would have much rather been involved in the cup, but from our perspective it actually came at a pretty good time for us, given the injuries that we had and how small the squad was looking up at Inverness. So it's given us a really good opportunity to get boys back training, get boys fit, and we've got a really good, strong, healthy looking squad now going into this game. And
speaking of those injuries, how is the team looking?
Yeah, like I said, we're in a much better position going into this one than what we were in the last fixture up at Inverness. Lots more options for me to choose from, and when we have got a fully fit squad available, then I believe we've got the strongest squad in the league. Our major issue this season has been we've had to go considerable periods of time without key players. And we've got 16 league games left, and it's really important that we try and keep as many of those players fit and available between now and the end of the season.
And you're top of the league now, but joint with points with Wraith. How important is a win at the weekend?
Yeah, I mean, every game is as important as the next one. We go into every game with the mindset of trying to win it. But we take nothing for granted. We've really enjoyed playing at Tannadice. Our points return at home probably hasn't been what I would like it to be when you consider how well we've done on the road this season. But it's been a few weeks now since we've had a home game, and hopefully the supporters will turn out in good numbers like they have done all season. Get behind the team. We're at that point now where 16 games to go. Every game is of significant importance, and we'll just take it one at a time.
How do you ensure the pressure doesn't get too much for the players now that we're in the second half of the season?
Well, I think there's been pressure on us from day one. The level of expectation at a big club like Dundee United is there. People in the media talking about it, opposition managers and players trying to talk us up and play things down to maybe ease a bit of pressure off themselves. But we've not underestimated any teams that we faced this season. Wraith Rovers, the great run that they've been on, hasn't surprised me at all when I look at the recruitment and the quality that they've got within their team. But we focus on ourselves. We've been in really good form all season. We've been very, very consistent, as I said, having only lost a couple of fixtures in the first 20 games. But we're over that halfway point now, and we really are entering that business end of the season where wins really matter, and we're going to take it one game at a time, and hopefully start winning again against Dunfermline.
And the transfer window closes next week. You did say before that if someone was going to add quality to the team, you would bring someone in. Is that happening, or where are we with that?
Well, I think we've done great business in the window up to now already. I think we have added real quality when you look at David Waterspoon and Alex Grieve both coming in. It was good to get both those guys done relatively early in the window as well. Obviously Declan Gallagher, having recently just went under surgery for a groin injury, that does leave us a little bit short at the back. So that's probably still an area that we're looking to try and strengthen. But there's not a great deal of concern around that, because I do think we've got players that could potentially fill in those areas if necessary. But Declan's been a big player for us, and we're looking forward to having him back and being available again soon, hopefully.
And lastly for me, how are the new players settling in?
Yeah, they've been excellent. I mean, both players, David and Alex, both know some of the guys from previous clubs, which always makes the settling in process a little bit easier. But you know, they're two very, very good characters. You know, I think that's something that, you know, we should be very pleased with in terms of the recruitment we've done from the summer up to now, is the types of characters that we've brought in. You know, we've tried to develop a really positive culture here at the club, and those two enhance that. That's all I can say about them. And you know, technically and from ability perspective, they've added real quality. So we're delighted with both of them, and look forward to seeing plenty of them in the next 16 league games.
Perfect, thanks.
And you know, just as you mentioned on the kind of maybe a little bit of need in you know, the centre of defence, does Ollie then going back to Cardiff City make that a little bit even more of a need now?
Yeah, I mean it does. Obviously, you know, Ollie, the loan process didn't work out the way that anyone would have wanted. You know, in terms of Ollie's development as a young player, wanting to come and play games. Solely down to the fact that Declan Gallagher and Kevin Holt had struck up such a good relationship. So it was best for all parties involved that Ollie went and tried to get regular game time somewhere else. It does open up a little space in the squad in that position, but you know, when Gallagher is back fit, you know, we do have himself, Ross Graham and Kevin Holt, and we've got a couple of really good young centre-backs at the club that I'm really excited about in Greg Petrie and Sam Harding. So, you know, if we weren't able to get anybody in, I'm not just going to add to the squad for the sake of it. You know, those guys, if we do bring one in that position, needs to be better than what we have. But, you know, if they're not, then I'm quite happy to go with one of those two young lads within the squad.
And just finally for me, obviously you've spoken about how close it is up at the top of the league, and is that something that as a manager you enjoy, having that real competitive battle to try and get over the line? Well,
that's been the message to the players for the last number of months, to be honest with you, is to, you know, enjoy the challenge from Raith Rovers, and let's not rule out Partick Thistle either. You know, I think they've slipped under the radar in recent weeks. They've been on a great run of form, picking up some really important results and closing the gap on ourselves and Raith Rovers at the top of the table. So, you know, it's not just a two-horse race as far as I'm concerned. I think there's three teams very much involved in it. But, you know, we have to be excited by that. You know, when you're playing for a big club like Dundee United, you've got to relish the opportunity and the challenge of someone trying to take that top spot from you. And, you know, we're there at the moment. I believe we're there on merit. But, you know, there's a hell of a lot of football to be played between now and May. We just have to make sure that we maintain our focus, continue to try and develop and improve, and that's something that I believe we're capable of doing. You know, we're not, I don't think we've hit the heights yet that we're capable of, and we'll continue to strive for that.
Perfect. Well, obviously a bit of a gap between the last game. I'm sure you would have rather been played, but you know, just how you feel, you know, after that.
The Inverness game was obviously a tough game. We went with the mindset knowing that it was going to be like that, but at the same time we obviously wanted to play the football that we normally do. I think we maybe struggled with that at times, but with the players that we had out missing, the conditions of the game, and obviously the way that Inverness are playing, at the end of the game we got 3 points, which is what we will want.
And just, you know, how much have you enjoyed this season so far? You know, you're kind of racking up, you know, plenty of assists.
Personally, I've loved this season. It's a really good group of lads, you know, coming in every day into training. It's something that you want to be a part of, and when it gets to a game day at the weekend, it's no different. There's a real good buzz around the place. We've obviously had a week off there, so we've had a little bit of downtime, but at the same time we've worked hard as well, and the managers maybe refreshed a few ideas on ahead. So yeah, it'll be good to kick on again now.
And you know, just like you say, they're back in action against Dunfermline this weekend. And just what are your thoughts out of that one?
It'll be another tough game. There's been no easy game against them this season. They've always been pretty close, especially in the league. So yeah, it'll be over to us to carry out the game plan, which we've worked on this week. They'll obviously come with theirs, and it'll be a good game, I'm sure.
And you know, like you said, you faced them a couple of times already this season. So just what are you expecting from them when you come to Tannadice?
They're very compact in defence. It'll be very tough to break them down. It's over to us to be ruthless when we get the chances. We've worked really hard, as I said, this week on creating overloads and other ways. I won't give too much away, obviously. So yeah, like I said, it'll be a good game.
And obviously, you know, yourselves back at the top of the league, and it's been a really closely run title race this season. And for you personally as a player, is that something you enjoy? You know, really going for it?
Definitely. I think the managers reiterated that there's no time that we can sort of take our foot off the gas. He's not sugarcoating it either. We know what's ahead. We know we've got 16 games left, and it's over to us to carry out the job at hand.
And you know, just how confident are you that you know yourself and the rest of the squad will go ahead to do that?
Well, there's no one in the change room so far this season that's let the club down in any way. I think the standards throughout the season have been top. As I said, we come in every day. The manager's very very strict in ways in terms of what's required of us. We know we come into work. He's very good with us away from the pitch as well. So yeah, it's over to us when it comes to game days to carry out the job at task.
Great. Thank you very much.
How much motivation is it that the table is so tight?
There's no room to sort of slip up. Of course, we've had a couple of results that are a little bit frustrating, but I think over the piece we've, like I said, the standards have been very high. And this weekend we'll try to carry on the bit of form that we found ourselves in.
Obviously it's the goal difference that's keeping us at the top with a few games in hand. What are your thoughts on that?
The goals are very good. I think we've shown all season how much a threat we can be going forward. We've been very good at the back as well. As I said, there's not one player that has let us down so far. The game in hand will obviously that will take care of itself, but this weekend is about getting back into sort of rhythm, back into what we've been working on this week and trying to get 3 points.